Oh yeah, we definitely got some plasma. Like right here, here's a pillar of light. I mean, I think that thing might sundog. Um, I mean, it's really weird, man. But it's like right here, you could see a freaking tube going into a triangular shape right here. Look. It's like a tube or a vent or a channel or something or a stream like yep, there's that pillar of light. There's another streak or a pillar right there too. I mean, I swear, dude, I see cloaked ships up there sometimes. Got me taking a second and third look sometimes at some things. Like that looks like a bubble. There's a bubble in there right here. It's shaped like a bean or like a flask, like a wineskin bottle flask. Cause it's got a little tube on the top of it too. Like, look, I'm telling you, I know they got some ability to make like a stream or a tube across vast distances in the sky. I think that, hey, yeah, that movie Storm, I think it's called Storm. It's got Luke Perry in it, and in the Illuminati cards there was the International Weather Agency, and this dude took this frickin' plasma vortex engine and dragged it from a plane on a string. And it had some kind of effect to control the storms. So, I mean, you know, you can't say that, you know, scientific minds haven't thought about these things. You know what I'm saying? When most people, I'm noticing this too. Look, most people are leaked scripts from government sources because they kind of want someone to, they want to seed the information in the public, and the authors get the job of leaking it out in a fictionalized format, but it's actually, they're telling you some real stuff. So some of these guys aren't such geniuses that they seem. That's part of the Magician's Act, is like, because the government wants to remain the silent partner, they don't, they just give, like, for instance, I'll just say that Stephen King, they give him all the recognition for the brilliant work, but it wasn't him alone. He had an agent in place that was leaking him information. And I mean, it's the same thing with the freaking Illuminati cards themselves. Like, they straight up got raided by the FBI, and they freaking made a television show about it. It's called X-Files. You know what I'm saying? Fucking like literally. It's fucking insane. It's like, literally, it's a game to them. And like, look, if you want to know what that game is, you just research the Illuminati cards. I mean, and you know, it's a game to them, but it ain't no freaking game, man. They're playing with people's lives, in other words, though. Because even though it just looks like a game, the plans behind it are real. Like, look, that looks like their frequency. A frequency plasma wave right here. Because look, it's smooth over here. Look, you can see them right here like steps. See? And it's smooth on the other side. But in this one spot right here, you can see the frequency waves streaked across there. I mean, literally, I don't know what the machines are called, but it shows like vibrations, what they look like on a meter. And you can watch them, like the higher the frequency, the closer the waves are to each other. That type of thing. What I hear about the what is it? the Schumann. What is it, man? The Schumann scale or something like that, where it's basically about the electromagnetic component to the universe and people, and how if you can affect the electromagnetic output, since people are all like basically we are like a receiver, like radio picks up radio waves, well people pick up readings too unknowingly. Like I heard this dude say, from the acid in your mouth and the metal they put in through your dental work, and if you touch your tongue to the roof of your mouth, you can actually pick up radio stations. So it's just that for some reason they like to keep the public kind of in the dark about these type of things. They don't want them thinking too much. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to what is it called? They don't want to rise in the thought crime rate. Yeah, dude, definitely crazy. There's another guy flying, putting a line up there. Yeah, dude, and is it the Schumann scale? Yeah. There was a plasma tube cloud, vortex cloud. What is it, horizontal cloud? Or is it a vertical cloud? But it was on Lake Michigan. So they're in the area jacking shit up. And I know down in, I know there's a big atmospheric center in Minnesota. Or is it Wisconsin? But I know it's just right next door to us, right over the lake. They're out there doing it. And it's like, I mean, anywhere where there's going to be a weather manipulation site, really the plan is now you don't shit where you sleep, so you practice on the people who live down the road, in other words, because that's just how these things work. Yeah, see that looks like an angel right here, like two angels connected at the head. It's got four wings. Yeah, wow. Looks like it's in a dress. Spiraling dress. Look. It looks like little figurines in there. There's another little angel-y thing. Another winged thing. Almost looks like a sphinx. Oh yeah, man. In that Ezekiel, it was talking about these angel things, how they have multiple faces at the same time. Also, that like the appearance like of a terrible crystal, which sounds kind of like a plasma portal, like you see on that movie. What was that movie? Stargate. But and also it talked about the light like a rainbow, and you see this a lot in the sky these days. Circular, round, 360 rainbows. I call them chembos, but it might not be the chemtrails that's causing them. I basically seen that Russia developed some kind of space satellite. Like basically, in theory, it's like a big crystal. Like it's a big diamond-shaped satellite, and if they can get this thing positioned in the right spot, it fricks with the light. It changes the light around. And, I'm not sure what the applications for that would be other than to do some dazzling, mystifying things. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. If you can trap the sunlight and catch it, and you just fill up a bottle of water and dangle it in front of the sunlight, it'll do the same thing as in theory what these satellites would do. Big giant crystal floating around the sky. And like I said, it's going to make dazzling effects. I mean, it'll get people's attention. Look, that looked like a skull right there. I mean, it could just think of it simply, it could divert someone's attention. Or it might have some kind of, it's also like this. Think of putting a magnifying glass up to an ant in the sun. It'll burn, right? So think about that. If they get a giant satellite, that's a magnifying glass. Whenever it passes the course of the sun, that fricker's going to burn everything that it's aimed at. You know what I mean? So, and that's how to break it down for layman, for the layman stream. I mean, think about it. That's a free dang laser. If you can get the fucking satellite up there. And then, that ties all back into the Reagan era Star Wars program. But that also kind of has connections to the blue beam, the blue beamery, MJ12 type stuff. Yeah, see, look, steps. Like that definitely looks like I said, man, it's like a lot of times it does kind of look like a Jacob's ladder type of a thing. That's a good description to describe sometimes what it looks like in the sky sometimes. So, I mean, there is an account in, I think it's in Kings. It's about Elijah and this dude. We're sitting there, and the dude's like, the one guy prays for the other guy, and he says, "God, please reveal to him the things that are going on that he can't see." And when he did it, all of a sudden the heavens opened up, and it was like, I think he said it was like the scales fell off, and all of a sudden he could see he was surrounded in the skies by a multitude of God's angels, and other things and witnesses, and wow, that almost looks like a giant freaking sickle. And I'm wondering if see, that's the thing, man. It could be the blue beam, could be false information to get us to, when we do see these things, we won't recognize what they are. We'll think it's something else. We'll think it's the blue beam, when it's really, it's the Jesus event when he comes in the sky with great glory. And if we think it's a freaking, we'll think that the governments with the Star Wars program are fighting the aliens, but really, it could be that's described too in the Bible, that they're gonna try to gather together to make battle against God when he returns too. Yeah, see, there's definitely some plasma luminescence. Yeah. I mean, see, that's what I'm talking about, like a cloaked ship. Like, especially that round piece right there. Like, looks almost like a freaking planet is up there coming out of the sky. Definitely got a dark plasma tube looking thing right here too. And it looks like, look, triangle right here, triangle right there. That's what I'm talking about. Some of these shapes, that circle right there, it's like makes me wonder, is it a freaking some kind of cloaking device? Oh, that's real sci-fi. See, that's the thing, when it comes to the aliens and the things in the sky, there's a lot of truth is there, but also there's a lot of misinformation about it too. It'll reveal a lot once there's real disclosure, but then again, remember this: it's also going to come with a mass deception at first. I mean, it's like sometimes people disclose what they want you to know, and I'm sure it's like, if you want to see a good look at that, what I'm talking about there, watch that series from the 80s, man. It's called V. And it was basically these aliens had human skins on, but really under their skin, they were freaking reptiles that were harvesting human meat. You know what I'm saying? And that's funny. I was listening to this book, man, the Chinese equivalent to the Arabian Nights, and it talked about this leader was a reptilian,